Crafters, this is Phoebe from ArtsycraftsyPhoebe, and today I'm going to show you how I made this cute and simple embossed and bleached birthday card. To begin, we are going to need an 8.5 by 5.5 inch cardstock in soft sky, and this will be scored right down the middle at 4.25 inches, and this will serve as the base of our card. Then we will need 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 of an inch of very vanilla cardstock, which will be the inside panel of our card. Now for the front of our card, we will need the same size cardstock in bordering blue. Now this is a very old Stampin' Up color, so if you don't have this one, just use any grayish blue cardstock you have. I know Stampin' Up doesn't carry this cardstock anymore. Now for our layering, we will need 3 1/4 by 4.5 inches of basic black and 3 1/8 by 4 3/8 inch of Pacific Point cardstock. And lastly, we will also need 2.5 by 1 1/4 inches of very vanilla cardstock for our birthday sentiment right there. And for this card, I used the stamp set Birthday Blossoms. I really love this stamp set. I used the flower clusters right here, this single flower right here, and this sentiment have a beautiful birthday. So let's get started. So I'm using a scrap piece of paper, my Versamark pad, and my Night of Navy ink pad as well. You'll also need your heat tool and your embossing powders. I used gold and clear embossing powders for this project. So we'll start with the bordering blue cardstock, and we'll use this flower cluster stamp right here. And I'm using my Night of Navy ink pad for this. So I'm just stamping a border on this cardstock, since that's really all that will be seen on our card once all our layers are put in place. So I'm doing 2 stamps at a time, and then I'll emboss it with my clear embossing powder after, so that the ink doesn't dry out on me. Doing it in sections this way just makes it easier to handle the card. So once you've covered all of your stamped images with your embossing powder, you can now set it with your heat gun. And now we'll just repeat the process. So once you're done, we can set this aside for now, and we can work on our sentiment using our Night of Navy ink pad again. Then I just used my corner punch to round up all of my corners, just like so. Next, we are going to work on our Pacific Point layer. And for this, I used this single flower stamp right here with my Versamark and my gold embossing powder. So I'm just stamping randomly about 5 to 6 flowers. And one more here, and I think one more little petal on this corner here. Then I'm just gonna cover this with my gold embossing powder. So I forgot to use my embossing buddy to remove any static from my paper beforehand, which just means I have to do a bit of cleanup with my small brush after. And now I'm just using my heat gun to set my embossing powder. So now I'm just working on the inside panel, which is the very vanilla, and I'm just going to stamp up the 2 corners with this flower cluster stamp right here, just like so. So now we can start with our bleaching. I have a small amount of bleach in this cup right here, and I'm using a small brush as well. And we are just gonna paint on the insides of our embossed flowers with this bleach. Once the bleach dries out, you can see the effect it has on our cardstock. See the color change? It's pretty. So just keep painting and don't worry because it won't affect the embossing at all. Now I'm just speeding up the drying process by using my heat gun. And look how the colors intensify with this. Love it! So we'll just do the same process for the other panel that we made. Once that's done, we can start setting up our card. We'll start by putting the inside panel of our card using our snail. Then we will layer our Pacific Point cardstock on our basic black, just like so. This will then be centered on our bordering blue cardstock. And then we will glue this to our base card, which is the soft sky. Our card's coming along. Now we just need to put dimensionals on our sentiment. I used about 5. Then just stick this on the lower right portion of our card. And there's our finished card. With the other card I made, I just used my gold marker to add a little border on the sentiment. And then as an afterthought, I put some rhinestones on the flowers because I thought the card needed a little bling. So let me know what you think of this carding technique, and don't forget to visit my website for your stamping needs. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and hope to see you next time on ArtsycraftsyPhoebe. Bye!